Let's go to Michael in Cleveland. Michael, I believe he believes in the Golden State Warriors like I do, but I'm just a homer. Michael, Cleveland, explain why you believe in the Golden State Warriors.
Hey, how's it going? I believe in them because they haven't failed us in 4 championships. You know, we do have our ups and downs like every other team, but they go get they gold blood. And this is coming from a guy from Cleveland. I'm a trader, you know. I'm not a Cavalier.
Man, you're not.
I believe the Warriors.
You must be feeling good about the Brownies, huh?
Yeah, but I kind of want to go with y'all. I'm trying to be full blood, you know.
Oh, you're trying to be Niner. Blood. Oh, you just want to be a Bay guy.
Hop on the bandwagon.
We got room.
Yeah. Plenty of room.
We have room. Because, you know, people are going to hop off after another loss, and they'll hop back on after another win. You know how it works, Michael. You know how the sports thing works. That's what we do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, I'm from Cleveland. It's tragedy, so It can't get worse than Cleveland.
No doubt. You know what? Yeah. I will say this about the Warriors, though. And I'll play the silver lining. I'll do the homerism, the glass half full stuff. You know, you lost in overtime to Oklahoma City. You blew an 18-point lead. You got to be better. Kuminga's got to be better. The live ball turnover is just atrocious in the third quarter. And I'm sure Steph watched that and went crazy as well. He said that he watched the game back. And then Minnesota, you lose up Minnesota there without Steph. Draymond and Klay gets kicked out. It was very encouraging. Podziemski balled out. You had that game right there. And look, we could say, you're 0.2 away from losing to Sacramento. You're 0.2 away from going to overtime at OKC. They're close. And the Western Conference is going to be muddled, and it's going to shift all season long. Got to see it when Draymond Green gets back and when they get this rotation rolling. That's the biggest thing. You get Draymond rolling. All right, we know Sarge could play in the system. Pick and pop, he's been dynamic. Mm-hmm. Chris Paul. What's the sad about Chris Paul? Chris Paul's been everything that we wanted and more. Chris Paul, check this out. Since 1977-78, when turnovers were first tracked for individual players, Chris Paul this season is the only player with 115-plus assists and 18 or fewer turnovers over his first 15 games of the season. So Chris Paul's giving you everything. That's a bonus. Check. Sarge and Paul. Now you got to get Wiggins to be consistent. You got to get Klay to be consistent. And one of these young players have to pop. Kuminga or Moody have to pop. Can they pop? That's the question.
Is it just those two? Trace Jackson?
Well, TJD is a rookie,
and he's a role. He's like he's a role guy regardless. Like that's the way I view him. But like, can he take a more prominent role?
Right. Hopefully.
God bless Looney. It's been very frustrating watching him get stuffed at the rim, and I know that was a consistent theme the last couple of years. But he's not having a great start to the year in terms of scoring underneath. Not that that's his like bread and butter, but too many times they throw it to him and he's wide open underneath, and somebody comes in weak side block, weak side bat. Ultra shot miss, and then it goes the other way. It's very frustrating. The more and more I've thought about it, this could change a month from now. I feel like CP3 has to be in the starting lineup. He really solidifies things for a variety of players, and he's too good to have on the bench right now. They can ill afford to have him off the floor.
So when Draymond gets back, you go small?
I feel like you almost have to. Like to me, he's their second best player. And I don't want it to be because I want other guys to step forward, but he's more consistent than all these other guys, right? Just right now, it could change. He brings too much good to the table. Now the hard part is knowing that. I also feel like I'm running the risk of wearing him down quicker.
Wearing him down, you're going small, so then you wear Draymond Green down when he's guarding fives. You'll wear Klay Thompson and Andrew Wiggins down because they're guarding bigger players. I don't know. I understand what you're saying, and I agree.
I don't know if they have a lot of answers, right?
But I don't know. They
just don't have a lot of answers.
I don't know if I want to start small like that. I don't know. And then if you do remove Klay Thompson or Andrew Wiggins, then you're going super small in the backcourt, and at the point of attack, your defense is going to be compromised.
I mean, they already are.
I mean, they are. They try to run a zone, and it's just not looking good.
Well, because they just don't have good defenders, period.
So
you got to have two good defenders at minimum for a zone, and even then, people are going to find it. Like, the zone doesn't work in the NBA because there's too much good shooting and too much athleticism.
Yeah, I may have to keep Paul on the bench, knowing that he's going to get his minutes. He played 34 minutes last night. That's not the plan for him.
No.
In the regular season. He's got to get that down to 26 to 28, not 34. That's a lot of wear and tear there. Let's go to Joe in San Jose. Joe, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, what's happening, gentlemen? Now, Bonte, you're out there every night, so I'm going to ask this question to you. If this team was 100% pure, healthy, pure, no technicals, no none of this stuff, could they win a championship with this squad against the NBA?
I don't know if it's a championship squad.
My second question.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll answer the first one. I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. So my second one is that these guys, I'm 40 years old, so I have had mud thrown in my face when the Warriors out there on the court. Horrendous basketball. So I'm more blessed that they brought home 4 championships rather than my son, who was born into this. He's 21 now. This is all he knows, and now he's pouting, saying, "Man, are they going to get back? Are they going to trade something?" You got to get mud in your face before you win championships. That's just the bottom line.
Yeah, so
the sun will always shine.
All right, 2022 when they won it all, Bonte.
The bonus championship.
They started off the season 18-2. Recalibrate for me. Remind me. Did we think they were a championship team at the first 2 months of the season?
I did. Guys called me a homer, so I don't count myself. I don't know. Did the fan base believe it?
I can't remember. I don't remember.
I believe the Warriors were back. I thought the Warriors were back. I was like 18-2. Wow, this is coming together. And Klay Thompson's on the way.
That's right. Okay. No. It's just
so I thought. And then 18-2. I was like, okay, they're back.
The Draymond back injury. Then you had the Steph injury that year. So I could see where it got a little murky, especially after January. And then they were like reintegrating Klay Thompson. So I don't know. Maybe you thought it was a championship team, but I know for myself heading into the playoffs.
Oh, I know.
I wasn't sure.
That's why the panic meter came out.
Yeah,
the panic meter was
I know it should be my face.
No, it should be. It should be my face.
Well, I remember it came out right after we did the arrogance meter. Then Steph.
Oh yeah.
Then we brought
the
out the
meter.
panic meter.
Yeah.
I deserve royalties for that.
Actually, no, you don't.
Pivot don't panic was my phrase.
The arrogance meter. The panic meter.
We didn't pivot. It was just a panic meter, and for a long time, I never panicked. I never went above 5.
You did that last year, too.
I know, but last year I got a little murky. But that year, that year, I was trying to keep the season alive here, folks. Yeah, let me panic, and then there goes our shows for March and April. But listen, the championship year, the last one, I felt really good. Really good. It was like, all right, you got enough wins. Guys get healthy. We'll be okay. They went on a run towards the end of the regular season. They got healthy, won 5 straight going into the playoffs. And I was like, let's go.
But wouldn't you agree the Memphis series, it was
I never feared. Oh, no. Matt Nahigan and I did a Spaces. It's like, I don't fear Memphis. Give me Memphis in the second round. I wanted the Memphis Grizzlies so bad. They were so fraudulent.
Ja did go down that year.
But they were so fraudulent. We would have beat them with Ja.
I mean, it did go 6.
I mean, we would have beat them with Ja. 6 guys fine. They had a home court advantage. The Warriors built in game 5.
They swept them. I don't know.
I'm not acting like that. More. I just said I knew we were going to outlast Memphis. I didn't say sweep. I didn't say 5, but I knew we were going to win that series.
Okay.
Like, I just didn't fear Memphis
that year,
like
I remember the Suns being excellent, and I thought the Suns were the team that we had to go through.
Right. I did, too. Now, I did believe it. I was like, "Boom, Western Conference Finals, Phoenix, Warriors." That was going to be juicy.
Right. And so, I thought they were in the mix. This year, I'm not sure right now that they're in the mix.
But Memphis, isn't it funny with the Memphis Grizzlies? They had the next dynasty coming, and they get bounced by the Lakers last year in the first round, get smoked in the first round. They weren't even close. Remember that? What game was that, Spinoni? 2 minutes into the game, I said, this is going to be a 30-point loss. Or it was like 5 minutes into it. It's like game 4.
You did do that.
It's like Memphis, they were so fraudulent. It starts with their head coach, Taylor Jenkins. Now you move on from Dillon Brooks. Josh suspended.
Well, I still love Jaren Jackson. Jaren Jackson's a nice player.
Jaren Jackson might be a little overrated.
Well, I mean, I think he should be on a better team.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to see him on the Warriors. He gives you a lot of the elements you're missing.
He's nice on the Warriors.
What?
Not as a cornerstone.
No, but I'm saying as a guy that as a rim protector, as a guy that you could funnel, he would be excellent. I mean, he's exactly what the doctor ordered.
Before we hit the legal, let's go to Mr. D in the city. Mr. D, what's happening?
Monte, I got to give you your props, man.
What'd I do?
You said 14 games for Wiggins, and I'll be doggone.
14th game, he balled out. Save me.
He balled out. But you know what?
Broken clock is right twice a day.
Glasses. He might need glasses.
Why?
He might need glasses because his shots was off. And then the last 2 games, they was looking straight.
Hey, man.
He needs Dr. Bindi?
Yeah, he may need Dr. Bendy, but somebody needs to tell Klay he's not a ball handler.
Yeah.
Catch and shoot. Catch and shoot.
Yep. Hey, Mr. D, I'm with you with the catch and shoot. And you know what? You have to give credit. This is where you have to give credit to the opponents. They understand who Klay is. He's a great catch and shoot guy. But when it comes to putting the ball on the floor, ball handling is not his thing. And teams understand that. The Kings understood that last year in the first round. The Lakers understood that. Make him put the ball on the floor and turn him into a playmaker. That's not Klay's game. It's not. So you're making him do things he's not accustomed to doing, that he doesn't like to do. And so that's the book is out on him. It's been out on him. But now with the injuries and where he's compromised, he doesn't have the same movement as he had before the injuries. Yes, teams are making him put the ball on the floor. And that's a detriment to the Warriors' offense. It is.
Well, the way I would be viewing it is, all right, well, then how can we make the best of this situation? What's the best version of him? What are the lineups that, complement what he can do? Well, because everybody wants to tell us what he can't do. What can he do? He can still knock down shots. The pick and pop game was there with him and CP3. CP3 found him multiple times early in the game. And I liked when CP3 was pushing the pace, because he rarely does, pushing the pace and throws it to him in the corner. And Klay was hustling on down. I really liked his turnaround, little mid-block shot that he had. Like, he hit a couple of big-time shots for the Warriors in the fourth quarter.
Here's what Chris Paul said about assists. He got five of Klay's 7 shots.
Analytics is crazy now. I would have never known that. We just hooping, and I tell Klay all the time, I've played against him for a long time. Every time he shoots it, I think it's going in. You know what I mean? He's a big part of our team and everything that we do. Sometimes we're going to need him to, cause 2-3 people to guard him and find the next guy. But every time I'm pushing the ball up the court, I'm looking for him.
And then Klay was asked about the last practice where Chris Paul was chirping.
It's very helpful. I mean, anytime Chris Paul speaks, you must listen. Man's been through it all. I actually watched the Redeem Team documentary last night, and it was cool to see a young Chris getting kind of rookie hazed by his teammates, and for him to still be here just balling, it's insane. It makes me respect him so much, and anytime he speaks and he sees something out there, we must apply it, because he is a basketball savant.
Basketball savant, Klay Thompson. And then you got to love paper airplane, Klay.
Chris talked about a practice a few days ago where you guys kind of dug into some of the offensive issues you're having. I mean, mostly via conversation more than on the court. Did that practice help?
What was the last part of that question?
Just how helpful was that practice?
It's very helpful. I mean, anytime Chris Paul speaks, you must listen.
It is incredible how this team has turned and pivoted on CP3. If I would have told the Warrior fan you'd hear that out of Klay's mouth 4 years ago, no way.
Yeah, that's wild.
Anytime he talks, you listen.
I don't the Klay thing, because it's going to be around all season long, and we understand he's not the same player. But this is where just stepping outside looking in with some fans is how quickly we crushed this guy. Like, listen to Klay. Like, he's a lovable athlete, right? In terms of athletes who give you something at a podium and have fun, Klay's the most carefree athlete I think we've ever seen in the Bay Area. He's up there with Dwight Clark, right? Just like, hey, I'm just going to live my life. I'm going to play basketball. I'm going to get on my boat. I'm going to make an paper airplane. He always gives you some quotes. It's kind of funny. I don't know, man. That's why I do kind of get crushed a little bit when I just see people so quick to just, man, get this dude out of here, da-da-da-da. Especially for a guy who's done so much for this organization. Like, it's kind of wild to me. That's all. I just stepping aside when I try to understand fan bases and fans and their psyche or whatnot.
Well, why is it okay for us to all, you and I have traded Draymond away 1,000 times. Why is there a differentiator between
Because
the two?
Draymond has affected wins and losses more so than Klay Thompson, I believe. And it's the behavior. It's the way you conduct yourself at times. And look, I get that's what gets Draymond Green going. But it's sometimes when you see some of the things that he's done, you punched a teammate.
I mean, that's I'm not here to say they're on equal footing. I'm asking, why is there a difference?
Yeah, and that's your difference.
Because Klay never punched anybody,
at all
that we know of.
No. I mean, I don't think he would. Look, I think there's levels to criticism, right? Like, is he the $45 million? No. Do I want him dribbling? No. Do I want him guarding guys on the perimeter who are elite offensive skill player? No. Can he still be useful? Yes. Right? Like, there's lots of different levels to the criticism. Do they need to trade him away yesterday? That's not going to happen. Right? It's not gonna, and when you see Steph Curry hug him like when he did after he hit that game winner against Sacramento, you think Steph Curry wants him out of town?
Hell no.
No. So I think there's a middle ground. Like, there's a happy middle ground.
Right.
We want him to play better. I think the majority of normal Warrior fans just want him to play better.
We do understand he's gotten off to horrific starts to seasons, even in his prime, right? It just looks bad because he's a lot older and he's closer to the end as opposed to being towards the beginning of his career. But he's gotten off to horrific starts over the course of his career.
Yeah, but this feels a little different, right? Because obviously,
that's what I'm saying. He's closer to the end.
Yeah, and I would say that.
And it's a contract year.
Also, the hardest thing to watch in sports is a beloved player just not have it the way they used to. Like, I look at Navarro Bowman, and I brought this up to you a while back. Like, when Navarro Bowman came back, it was like, I can't even believe he's playing football.
Yeah,
right?
Rough.
And then, like, the first 7 or 8 weeks of that year, it was just remarkable. We were just thrilled he was back out there, and he was making all these tackles and everything. And then we all started to get, like, discerning, and we're like, a lot of these tackles are coming 9 yards down the field. Like, he's missing this one, he's missing that one. He just wasn't the same guy, and how could he ever be? But my respect for the player, the human, the grind to get yourself back in position, through the roof. I still to this day think that Navarro Bowman is an all-time legend in 49er lore.
Right.
He didn't even play that long.
Right.
And I put Klay in the same thing. I have a hard time watching them play at times because it makes me sad how a guy who was so amazing and so next level in all of the things that I look for in my players. He's my mom's favorite player. Yeah. She loves Klay more than she loves Steph Curry.
Right. A lot of people do.
And she's like, it's sad to watch him play because I could feel the pain when he misses a shot. You could feel it on his face when he's running back. Like, it wears on him. And every shot feels that way when he's missing. And it's like you can feel the crowd is pulling for him.
He wears it on the sleeve.
Absolutely.
No doubt. He wears it on the sleeve, his emotions. And I think that's what makes him so lovable. It's that the guy, the guy cares. The guy cares on how it looks. The guy cares about basketball. He's a basketball lifer. But, the contract maybe is wearing on him. It's got to be tough. They can downplay it all they want to. But every game that goes by could be in the war. Because, I'm thinking about Klay Thompson. I was talking to Lily about this yesterday. Klay Thompson on the L.A. Lakers, right? Spadone's Lakers. If Klay Thompson was playing with a guy like LeBron James, he's the type of guy that can extend Klay's career.
Yeah, but in that setting,
shots
he's not starting.
Yeah, no, maybe he is.
Okay,
maybe he is. Cam Reddish is starting for the Lakers right now.
Is he taking on the same usage rate that he would here in a normal setting?
Maybe not, but Cam Reddish is starting with the LA Lakers.
Yeah, Cam Reddish got a 2-year, $4 million deal.
Forget all the money. Forget all that for a second.
Baked into
no, not in my equation. Not right now, because we don't know what type of money Klay Thompson's going to get. It depends on the money
he's not taking a 2-year, $4 million deal from the
You
Warriors.
never know.
He may have to. An insult.
He may have to, but you don't think LeBron James could convince Klay Thompson, come down here, come play with the Lakers.
No, that's
grew up watching the Lakers.
I know, but
my point was that a guy like LeBron James can extend his career.
Well, yeah.
Players like that. That's all I'm saying here. So his shooting will always be valuable as a catch-and-shoot guy. So what does the money look like? I don't know.
Well, and what does he value himself at? That's the question.
Go be what pops out in L.A.? Maybe that's something. Maybe that is something. I don't know.
I mean, I look at it this way. Like, we want to believe that the big three will stay together and finish their careers out together, holding hands as they walk off the floor. Chris Mullin, my favorite Warrior of all time before this version of the Warriors, played in Indiana. Jerry Rice played in Seattle and in Denver. Joe Montana played in Kansas City. Yeah, pick the guy. Will Clark played for the freaking St. Louis Cardinals, for crying out loud, at the end of his career.
Yeah.
Tim Lincecum with the Angels.
Yeah, no.
The majority of athletes don't go out the way we want them to.
No doubt.
That sucks.
I understand that completely. I understand that. Ronnie Lott was with the Jets and the Raiders. Roger Craig was with the Vikings and the Raiders, for crying out loud. Athletes move on. It's a rarity. It is a rarity. But I'm just saying, like Klay Thompson, if he's around the right personnel, his career can get extended because of his ability to catch and shoot. There's still value there in this league. And if he gets around the right, like a contender, who's like, you know what, we can use an extra shooter. Klay Thompson's going to be sought after.
Well, no,
but not for the money that he wants.
I agree with
and
that.
And he may get humbled with the market that he has. But, boy, there's going to be some contenders out there if the market does get depressed for him. There's going to be some contenders who are like, yo, Klay, come down here and play. We could use your three-point shooting.
There's no doubt. Like when we were talking and everyone got mad at me because I said, hey, he more resembles, and these were the two guys I said, Kyle Korver and Ray Allen.
Korver sucks.
In terms, what's
Kyle Korver stinks. Kyle Korver stinks.
Okay. My point is that as an off-ball shooter that you have to account for in a half-court setting, yes, and when Ray Allen went to the Miami Heat, he was not a starter, right? He was a very valuable piece off the bench that played in certain lineups and certain matchups depending on who was on the floor, and he was a deadly sniper for them. Didn't play all the time, but played enough to be useful. And then come playoff time, was extremely valuable for them and hit one of the biggest shots in Miami sports history.
Kyle Korver, Ray Allen's a different player. Kyle Korver's not on it. I get triggered when you put Kyle Korver in the same sense as Ray Allen. Isn't Kyle Korver the same guy who missed a wide open quarter three, game three against the Warriors in the finals? Okay. Teams will be willing to leave Kyle Korver open all day long. Kyle Korver, what do you average? 10 points a game?
I respect him. I'm just saying I respect him as he's a shooter that you had to account for. Like I'm not triggered by the name. I'm looking at the player and what he brings to the table in terms of skill set, and the skill set is comparable to what Klay would be bringing to a team next year.
I think he's a lot more skillful than Kyle Korver ever would, but that's just my opinion.